Yes.
Welcome back.
Happy to be here.
You are a wealth of knowledge, so we wanted to have you back and chat about a few more things, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about being a new home buyer. It's really intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're a first-time buyer, just getting into the market, or whether you're new to Canada, there's a lot to learn about owning a home. And, you know, not just a detached home, but semi-detached townhomes, even some apartment-style condos fall into this category. There is some real maintenance that you need to do to take care of your home. And if you don't know what to do, it's a little scary.
It can be a bit much.
Yeah. So, you know, what are 3 or 4 things that you come across in your day-to-day work as a home inspector that you think would be important for new homeowners to understand?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'd say one of the bigger items would be climate control, your furnace.
Okay. Especially here in Canada. In Calgary, we need our furnaces.
So, I mean, briefly, the furnace that's circulating the air that we breathe. You want to take care of that.
Sure.
So, one of the biggest things would be servicing.
Okay.
It's a good idea to have servicing if your furnace is 8 years or newer. Every second year, have it serviced. If it's older than 8 years, I'd recommend servicing every year.
Okay.
Have it serviced annually. Duct cleaning. The duct cleaning can be performed every 2 years.
Okay.
Depends on the circumstances. Every home is different. Some people prefer to do it every year, and that's fine
like
too.
You said, it's the air you breathe. So.
Exactly. So, on that, furnace filters. There are a variety of filters. Regardless of what type of filter you have, it's recommended to change them every 3 months. Again, the filters are going to filter the air that you breathe. It's going to remove the particulates, dust. The different types of filters, we can get into that if you want to.
Please do. I mean, there are lots. You go into Home Depot and you stare at these filters, different sizes, different types.
Right. That's right.
Do you go for the most expensive or the cheapest? Or is that middle ground okay? I guess if you have pets, that might affect things as well.
No, that's right. You go to Home Depot and there's an aisle filled with filters. For me, I highly recommend the pleated filters. They come springtime. They try and sell these high micron, which is a particulate size.
Okay.
3,000 microns, that type of thing for pollen. It really does your furnace a disservice.
Okay.
I recommend a 500 micron. What that does, it does its job. It removes the particulates and dust out of the air that you're breathing. Anything higher than that, it's going to put a lot of load on the furnace fan. It's going to be working harder to push that air through the filter.
Right.
So
makes sense because the filter is more dense.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that would be the recommended filter anyway. So,
I bet you've seen some really dirty and disgusting.
Yeah, I have.
filters
I have seen
some
nasty situations where I would swear the filter's never been changed in its lifetime. It was just baked on dirt. It was terrible. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So just calendar reminder.
Yeah.
Every quarter.
That's right.
Go in and change that filter.
That's right.
It's so important.
Yeah, it's so simple. I just do it January 1st.
Right.
And then every 3 months from there on. It's easy. So.
And so when you buy a new home as well, your home inspector, if you've done an inspection, should be able to show you how to do that as well, right?
That's right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've talked about filters. Let's talk about duct cleaning a little bit. You said every couple years. So
that's right.
What's involved with that?
It's a pretty simple process. It doesn't take very long. There are a couple of different systems where you'll see a truck pull up, and they have all these ducts that are coming out of the truck, and they bring that into your furnace room or mechanical room, wherever the furnace is located. They will. It's basically just an enormous vacuum cleaner, and it's going to remove any particulates, any debris that are in your ducts that wouldn't normally be pushed through or removed with your filter.
Right. Okay.
Then they use a high pressure air to help push any of those particulates through, any debris, while it's being sucked up through the vacuum system. So
okay. Now most companies, they'll say, okay, they're going to do a certain number of ducts for X amount of money, and then they'll charge you another amount per duct. Can you get away with just doing the minimum, or do you recommend always getting all the ducts clean?
Well, as you said, every home is different. Your system is going to be different in every home.
Okay.
So either you do it all, in my view, or not at all.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's no real halfway, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No, that's good to know, because I think some people would be tempted to say, well, let's just do the ones that are included and not worry about paying any extra money. But it'd be important, if you're going to do it, you might as well just do
the whole thing. Okay. Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. Now, related to the furnace, and we've talked about this in a previous video, the humidifier.
Yes.
Yeah.
The humidifier.
So let's talk about that.
So that also requires servicing and maintenance. They too have, dependent on the type, they have filters in them as well.
Okay.
Basically, they're filtering the moisture that you're adding into the air. That just is water coming from your supply lines.
Right.
That wants to be filtered as well. Those filters can get built up with mineral deposits, calcium deposits, that type of thing, especially in
Calgary.
In Calgary, we do have hard
water.
water here, a lot of mineral deposits.
Yes.
So those are recommended to be replaced every year, once a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Replaced.
Correct.
Yeah,
I do those at the same time as servicing your furnace.
Okay. And usually the technician who does your furnace can also do your
Correct.
humidifier.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Good to know. All right. I mean, humidity, we talked about it in the previous videos, is a tricky thing. So you want to keep that going. Calgary's such a dry city.
That's right.
So you want to have the ability to add a little bit of humidity into your home when you need it.
That's right.
Yeah. And then decrease it.
And decrease
which
when
we talked about in a previous. Yeah. So. Maybe let's move on, and I guess it's related somewhat. We talked about humidity on your windows before, but let's talk about doors and windows in terms of the seals around them, because here we are, it's winter.
Yes.
There's drafts coming in,
That's right.
So
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So the seals around your doors and windows, they have a lifespan, and they do need to be maintained. Front door, for example, you'll see a weather seal of different types around the door opening. Those are designed to keep the drafts out, keep moisture out. Those can degrade and over time. They can be easily replaced, dependent on the type.
Okay.
They can be easily replaced and renewed. Big box stores sell them as a kit, different colors, different types, dependent on what's on your particular door.
Okay.
If you're seeing daylight through your door, that's a problem. You want to make sure that the seal is complete around the entire door.
Sure.
So,
So Mason and I owned 100-year-old home here in Calgary, and yes, when we bought the home, there was definitely a little bit of daylight coming in. Not that the door was 100 years old, but it was just an old home and an old door, and so that definitely have to look after.
You know what I'm talking about.
That draft for sure. Okay.
Windows are a similar thing. There are different types of windows, casement, sliding, fixed. If they are opening, you want to make sure that the debris, dust and debris and dirt from the exterior is removed.
Okay.
Seals, the windows have seals as well. You want to look at those, make sure that they're not damaged, broken. They can be replaced, but it's a little bit more involved. The doors, that can be done by the average homeowner. Windows, you may want to get a window contractor in to take a look at them for you. Yeah.
Okay. Even the seal around the door, I mean, it can be a little bit intimidating for someone who doesn't really, but I mean, there's so many options these days. And I think a popular one lately has been TaskRabbit as well. You know, it's an app, put it on your phone. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but you know, you can hire a handyman for some of these small jobs, right?
That's right. Exactly.
And so if, you know, don't not do it because you're afraid to do it yourself. There are options that you can.
There are always options.
Hire someone out to do it.
Whether you do it yourself or you hire someone to get to do the work for you, it's still a requirement.
Sure, absolutely.
It's a requirement for home ownership.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so then let's talk about gutters, downspouts, all that kind of stuff as well. So what do we need to do there?
So gutters and downspouts, their job is to shed the water away from your home, off the roof, and away from your home. The idea being, quite simply, you want to shed any water, any moisture away from your home. You want to get it away from your foundation. The gutters, they are, depending on what trees and foliage you have around your home or vegetation, they can fill up with leaves. So they'll want to be cleaned out once or twice a year, typically in the spring and then in the fall is common. If you can't do that yourself, there are people out there who can do it for you.
Absolutely.
The downspouts,
some of them wear kilts.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Indeed. The downspouts, they want to be. You want to ensure that those are away from your home. A lot of the people leave them attached to the downspout, and all of that moisture is going directly down to your foundation, which is a terrible situation.
Not a good thing. Yeah.
You want to make sure that your downspouts are placed down, typically about 4 feet away from your home, and that they're not clogged or blocked with any debris, and any moisture is going to be flowing.
So this stuff is outside. It's easy to ignore, right?
Yeah.
You're, especially in the winter, we are living our lives predominantly inside, right?
Yes.
So how often do you kind of recommend for a new homeowner or any homeowner to kind of just do a perimeter walk, go outside, check on things? How often should people be doing that?
Yeah, sure. That's a good question. I think I periodically, I mean, we're a lot of people, I'm guilty myself of, tripping over a downspout that's across your yard. It can be a pain. So often I find myself, sitting that back up, and it's not doing its job.
Sure.
So whenever I'm outside, I do make a point of looking in the direction of the downspouts, just in case they have been placed up. Make sure that they're down. So whenever I'm outside, I'll just ensure that they're where they need to be.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And maybe related to this as well, ice buildup in some of the outside vents, right? That would be an important thing to
absolutely
knock away and have a look at as well.
Yeah. So in the colder temperatures, you may see some ice forming on the exhausts on your home. It quite simply, you can just remove those ice formations. They're often attached to a plastic or a PVC product, which can be brittle in colder temperatures. So you just want to be a little bit careful when you're doing that. But the ice can block the exhaust pipes and prevent them from doing their job, performing properly. So
is it just enough to kind of kick that that icicle that's hanging, or do you need to actually remove it from inside the spout somehow?
That's exactly it. Often it'll just drip down, and you'll have an icicle forming. You can just simply remove it. So
okay, perfect. Now let's talk about thermostat settings. We know we talked about the furnace, but let's talk about setting your thermostat as well, because there are some guidelines that are important to having your home run efficiently, right?
Yeah, sure. So I think everybody's comfort zone is different, and certainly different members of the family in the same home.
Yes, absolutely.
Keep in mind that when you make an adjustment on a thermostat, it's going to take some time for that to adjust throughout. The thermostat, wherever it may be located, typically centrally located in the home, often in Canadian homes on the main floor.
Sure.
That is where the temperature is reading. So if you consider cold air drops, hot air rises, it often begs the question, why is my basement cold? Why is upstairs so warm? Quite simply, the thermostat is reading the temperature at its own location, not throughout the home.
Right.
There are so many different varieties out there, something from basic thermostats to learning thermostats, such as Nest or Ecobee. They have sensors that you can place throughout the home that can read temperatures and adjust those temperatures on different locations, wherever those sensors are. So
I just bought a sensor. We haven't installed it yet, but
yeah.
I mean, particularly, when you have a fireplace on, for example, thermostat is only a few feet away.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden you walk into the basement or even, upstairs in certain rooms, and it's a rude awakening. It feels quite chilly because the thermostat's reading this hot air coming off of the fireplace.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you do have fireplaces, I mean, they can take place of heating your home instead of your furnace.
Sure.
Like you have set up here. It's nice to have this the fireplace going. That's naturally going to warm upstairs as well.
Sure.
So
okay. No, that's good to know. Now, in terms of the type of thermostat, do you recommend getting something that's maybe more of a smart thermostat? I mean, really, those prices aren't what they used to be. I think they're more affordable now than when they first came onto the market. So is that something that you'd recommend upgrading to?
Yeah, certainly. I think like you said, they've come a long way. The smart thermostats are, I mean, cost-wise, anywhere from $200 to $500 or $600, and they vary in price, but they also vary in functionality. Right. They are learning not only the functionality of your home, the temperatures required, but they also learn when people come home. When they open a door, they sense that somebody's home, and you can adjust it, and they all have their own functionalities, but you can adjust it when you come through the door, that it'll provide warmth in the wintertime. In the summertime, of course, cool air from an air conditioner if you have it. So. Or
even, I know ours, when we're away on vacation, it'll automatically kind of sense there hasn't been movement for a period of time, and we'll set an away setting.
That's right.
And then, the key, though, is to remember when you're landing in that airplane to go into the app.
That's right. Exactly. And that's
turn it back on.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of those smart thermostats, is why heat the home when you're not home?
Sure.
There's no point in spending money on heating the home when it's not required. So that's what I do like about them the most. Their energy consumption and energy cost savings in mind. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I know that there's a lot more that we can discuss on this topic. We will certainly have you back. I mean, spring is coming, so I know, air conditioning, maintenance, all that kind of stuff is coming. So we will definitely have you back for more homeowner tips for our new homeowners out there.
Look forward to it.
So thanks again.
Thank you.
And I think that'll wrap it up for today.
All righty.